Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Adeyemi from Plant Biology Department, University of Ilorin. I'll be taking medicinal plants, myths, facts, conservation, and tissue culture techniques as part of the modules in GNS 311 courses. To start with, traditional medicine is a total sum of knowledge, practices that is used in diagnosis, prevention, and elimination of physical, mental, or social imbalance or illnesses. And this type of medicine is the one that is handed down from generation to generation. Is either they write it down for their children or they tell them verbally. But what really happened is that this type of medicine is being practiced by the local people or the indigenous people of a particular culture. And the knowledge, which is priceless, is being passed down from one generation to the other. And sometimes traditional medicine involves various forms of therapies. It can be music, it can be dancing, it can be fasting, dieting, regardless of what of the methods you use. But if you are not using orthodox drugs like paracetamol, panadol, or what have you, you are involved in traditional medicine. Either you use music to calm your system, to calm your nerves, yeah, you fast because you are sick, or you diet, or you use herbs, or psychotherapy. There are many forms of therapy which which are under the umbrella of traditional medicine. So that's traditional medicine. This traditional medicine is an umbrella which encompasses all other forms of medicine that is not orthodox. This type of medicine is practiced by the local local people or indigenous people and passed down from generation to generation. Now, this takes us to herbal therapy. It's when there is the usage of plants for medicinal purposes, for therapeutic use. And medicinal herb is quite different from herb because in botany we have herb as an habit of plants, but in medicine, when we say medicinal herb, is different because this herb is referred to plants used for medicinal purposes, and they have quite a number of therapeutic usages. For example, a medicinal herb can be herb, botany, a shrub, or tree. It may be fungi. It may be any part of either lower plant or higher plant. They use any of the parts of the plant like seeds, leaves, barks, roots, fruits, and any other. They even use sap of plants to cure diseases and for spiritual uses. Medicinal plants have played essential role in human culture and in religion. Sometimes uh, in India, there is a plant they use, Datura metal, associated with the worship of one of their Indian gods. And this is one of the functions of herbs. And they know what they realize from using these plants for worship. So it means that herbs can be used for medicine and can be used for several other things. So this will take us to ethnobotany. What do we call ethnobotany? It is the study of relationship between man and plant. So we can use herb for medicine, for other purposes, for shelter, for food, for rituals, for religious purposes. So sometimes, how do we get the plants to use to solve our problems? Uh, we have several methods. which they use or which we use to get information about medicinal plants. Sometimes plants are tested directly by physicians to see which of these is useful, and this is what we call trial and error. It's not kind of safe because you don't know which of the plants, uh, which of them is poisonous, but they can test directly. And for example, ancient Chinese physician Shen Nong tested 70 plant species daily so as to know which of them is therapeutically advantage to the people. And also we learn from the animals. The ancient people might gather knowledge of plants for medicinal uses on the base of animals, because they know that if, for instance, if you have a goat and is having diarrhea, you may not even give the goat anything, but you may throw the goat and see which of the plants the goat will forage on, thereby deciding that, oh, this plant the goat forages on is used in the treatment of diarrhea. And also from chimpanzees, they have learned lesson from them because they are closest neighbors in terms of the evolution. So they also self-medicate, and by this we learn from them. So also there is what we call doctrine of signature, which means that any plant that looks like something in your system, an organ, can be used to cure a disease of that organ. For instance, if you have a plant that has red sap that looks like blood, you quite know that the sap or the extract from that plant can be used to manage our blood related illnesses or to purify our blood. Also, you have some plant that looks like herbs. When you see these plants, you know that these plants can be used to cure heart related diseases. And we have plants that look like seeds that look like kidney, that look like breast, human breast, like Adansonia digitata, baobab. The fruit is like, it looks like a mammary gland of a woman, and the local people use this fruit as galactogogy. They use this fruit to induce lactation in nursing mothers. You know, sometimes when some women give birth to children, milk will not come, but because of this, the look of this fruit, local people developed interest in using this fruit for as a galactogogy to reduce lactation and to bring about milk production in women. So these are the ways uh, local people or Asian people develop medicinal usages of herbs. Uh, we have resources for new medicine. In bryophytes, they are non-vascular plants. We have about 15,350 species of them. Also, we have seedless plants, which are gymnosperms. Uh, uh, Seedless plants, also commonly called friend, are expected to be about 12,157 species, and gymnosperm has about 760 species, not overall, but the ones they have gotten new medical resources from. And angiosperms have been found to be very useful in several ways. They've been found to be useful in tea or in extracted forms. They've been found to be useful in the synthesis of new drugs like artemisinin. Uh, the widely known artesunate or artemether, artemisinin, is gotten from a lead compound which is artemisinin, isolated from Artemisia annua, which is a Chinese plant. Also, we medicinal plants can serve as a source of foreign exchange. But if you have some plants in your country and some people from another country need the therapeutic potential of that plant, they can buy from you, and thereby you earn foreign exchange. There are over 100 chemical substances that have been derived from plants for the use of drug and medicine. We have acetyldigoxin, which is a cardiotonic, and is isolated from digitalis lanata. We have adoniside, which is also a cardiotonic. from Adronis fenalis. We have Acin, which is an anti-inflammatory drug, isolated from Aeschylus hypocastanum. Also, we have several other drug like agmalicin, which is used for the treatment of circulatory disorder from Elvia vomitoria. So we have cocaine, which is used as anesthesia from Erythrosylum coca, which is called coca plant. So we have codeine, which is an analgesic and antitussive from Papaver somniferum. We have coquicine, which is an anti-tumor agent from Coquicum, and we have cocomine, which is a chlorretic from Cocoma longa. So these are the drugs gotten from medicinal plants, and we have many of them, but that was just an example. So we have some medicinal plants used in Nigeria. We have Ebrus precatorius, which is called Ejologo in Yoruba. I'm not Hausa, so I will not be able to pronounce the Hausa name. The pap use leaves, seeds, and roots. We use but sometimes the roots is poisonous, but can be used under supervision. So the leaves, seeds are used as treatment of in the treatment of cough, convulsion, and the seeds are also used as contraceptives and fertility. And we have Azadirachta indica, which is called dogoyaro in Yoruba, and cassia in dogoyaro in Hausa, and even Yoruba call it dogoyaro, but it's cassia by the local Yoruba people. The leaves, the seeds, and stem barks are used as a treatment in malaria, piles, syphilis, and urinary diseases. We have Bambusa vulgaris, which is Okpano in Yoruba. This plant is used as abortifacient in respiratory disease and as appetizer. We have Carica papaya, which is used in Ibepe, pawpaw. The leaves, the fruits, seeds, and roots are the used parts of this plant. It's used in diabetes as antipyretic, and in ulcer also, the seeds are used in treatment of ulcer. We have Venona amygdalina, which is bitter leaf. It's used as laxative in malaria and several other diseases. So we have mode of preparation of herbal medicine. We have several. In traditional herbal medicine are prepared in several standardized ways, which usually differ based upon the plant utilized and sometimes what disease condition is being managed. Some of the methods used are concoction, decoction, infusion, pills, syrups, juice, tablets, compresses, tinctures, powders, and poultices. For decoction is when you take a plant part and you boil in water until the water is out. So you have successfully prepared decoction. But infusion is when we all know Lipton tea, you infuse your tea. The same way you infuse herbs, you pour hot water on already prepared herbal materials and you strain, you sieve out the impurities and you drink the infused liquid. That's infusion. Pills, we also know pills. You can use the powder to make pills and the rest. We have syrup, we have juices. These are kind of the same. You extract out juice from the plant and you add with water, that's juices, and in syrup you add with honey or some other natural like other natural liquid that can make it a syrup like preparation. Also in compresses, these compresses you can make use of decoction, already cooked decoction, and you put towel in the compresses. This compress is used when you have pains in some areas of your body, when you have strains, rheumatism, and the rest. So you use compresses to mop the area where the pain is. And also in tincture is when you use ethanol or alcohol, 60% alcohol to prepare your herbs. But the way you administer this is different from the way they administer at the local market, where you just go to the market or to the herbal seller and tell them, give me okpaenyi, or uh, you know, they will just give you half cup, but that's not the way it should be administered. In tinctures, when you prepare tinctures, the standard prescription is you take 10 drops of tincture in water before you drink, so that you will not be intoxicated by the alcohol in it. What you need in tincture is not the alcohol actually, is the active constituent in the plant. So when you want to take tincture, you take 10 drops in water. So powders. Powder is when you grind your herbal materials into fine powder, and Yoruba call it agomu. So poultices is when you make paste from the plant and you put on the affected area. We normally make this when we play football and you have bruise. In Yoruba land, you just take akintola and you make it to paste and you put on the affected area. So you have successfully made poultice to treat your condition. So why do people use herbal medicine or medicinal herbs? Sometimes medicinal herbs are used because there is shortage of physicians. They don't have access to drugs in rural areas, and the cost of drugs sometimes may drive people to use medicinal herbs. They see medicinal herbs, those set of people see medicinal herbs as their last resort to accessing medical care. If they don't use medicinal herbs, they may not be able to treat their disease conditions, and this is quite popular in the developing countries, where the doctors are going outside the country. They are, the Japa syndrome, so which renders some rural hospitals doctorless or physicianless. So in this kind of scenario, the local people will tend to treat their disease using what they know and what their generation has passed down to them. So also, people use herbs with the perception that being natural means being safe. So they like using natural means to treat their disease condition. So like they will say, oh, this is the safest way of treating disease condition. Also, sometimes when they have exhausted conventional therapies and coupled with the dissatisfaction of or lack of efficacy of conventional therapies, people tend to go to herbal medicinal practitioners to seek for medical treatment, because they will tell you, this is not type of testenebo in Yoruba, but this is kind of, oh, you can use this herb, you can use, because when you use drugs, some drugs may not work for the disease condition, so they'll tell you, you can use these herbs. So the exhaustion of conventional therapies may lead people to the usage of medicinal herbs. Also, significant risk, side effects and risks associated with conventional therapies also drive people to use medicinal herbs. Like you go to the hospital with stomach ache, you come out with headache. People are running away from this kind of side effect that they will be treating to the rest of their life, and they prefer using herbs with less side effects or less risky if used as prescribed. Also, preference for personal involvement in decision-making process can drive people to use herbs. Like I'm the head of the family, so you have to do as I say, but I want this patient to use herbs. Also, cultural and religious beliefs may drive people to use herbs. Some people believe that taking injection is sinful to their cultural or religious beliefs, so using herbs will be very sufficient for them to treat their diseases. Also, the use differs by ethnic groups, income, age, and education level. The ethnic group you come from may inform your choice of using herbs, and your pockets may inform your choice of using herbs. Instead of paying 2,000 consultation fee and 50,000 naira for drugs in the hospital, you just go to herb sellers, and they treat uh, uh, this condition. Also, there is a belief that herbal products are superior to orthodox drugs. This belief also drives people to using herbal medicine for their problems, for their disease condition. The myths and facts. Are herbs efficacious? Well, medicinal herbs have been reported to be effective by various scientists through different assays, and also in plant biology, biochemistry, and chemistry, a lot of research have worked on medicinal plants to justify the usage or to justify the claim of the local people of the efficacy. And we've seen several reports from them justifying the efficacy and justifying that these herbs are less risky because they do not contain any toxic materials. Also, different ailments have been treated with medicinal plants singly or in a mixture with animal parts. Sometimes personally, I've also treated people with also using herbs, and we have been able to, well, we thank God the herbs work for them. Sometimes it will prepare for some people and it will not work, but we have been able to treat some ailment with herbs, either singly or in mixture with animal parts. Like those that usually make ale, the Yoruba herb sellers, they will tell you add this herb, add this herb, add okoere, obuko, just to make herbs. And they will ask you, just mix this with this and for you to get the required property. Also, the active activity of this medicinal plant has been owed to the phytochemicals present therein. So the phytochemicals are what is in these plants that make them active. So we can say that medicinal plants are reservoirs of useful chemicals that have been attributed to their medicinal importance. So these chemicals contained, the chemicals contained in these plants are either alkaloids, saponin, tannins, glycosides, and several other phytochemicals, which are being reported daily that they are the ones responsible for the acclaimed activity of the plant. Also, multi-herbal therapy is a myth that most herb sellers use as many as 6 to 14 plants for a disease condition, with the claim that some herbs will reduce the symptoms of the disease while others will improve the digestion and absorption of the remaining herbs. And while this may be true, many other herbal medicine propose that the therapeutic benefits of herbal products stems from the synergistic action of several natural components of the herb. Some herbs may play a vital role in the preparation, but don't let us forget that some herbs may have antagonistic effects with each other. So before we can say that the multi-herbal therapy is efficacious, you have to do research and see if they are synergistic or antagonistic. But there has been reported that the concoction of different medicinal plant parts are usually of advantage, as reported by the local people and the researchers. Safety. How safe are these herbs? In all things there is a poison, and there is nothing without a poison. It depends on the dose, whether a poison is a poison or a poison is not a poison. So the dosage you take will inform whether something is poison or not. If you take too much water, there will be a problem. I know most of us like garri. If you soak too much garri, you are going to suffer some problem. So everything is poison. In all things there is poison, and there is nothing without a poison. So it depends on the dosage or the quantity you take before a poison can be poison or not. So there is a Chinese saying that says any drug has toxic effect. either natural or uh, uh, orthodox. Also, there is a perfect perception that being natural means being safe. So some people think the natural herbs are safe. So medicinal herbs are drugs, and they have chemicals in them. Therefore, we should be careful and test herbs to ascertain their safety, because these chemicals are what they use in making orthodox drugs, which are giving us side effects. So we should also test medicinal plants to see if they are safe or not. So also there is herbal herbs misidentification. Herbs which include bark, bulbs, stems, roots are dried and sold as semi and processed products. The products are labeled using local names. The desiccation of this medicinal plant makes identification of medicinal plant difficult, as dried or desiccated plant look similar. It looks similar. If you go to the herb seller's shop, you see a lot of herbs dried and they look the same. So there is a problem of misidentification. If you go there and you meet an apprentice which is just starting the training process, the person may give you a wrong herb instead of the correct one. So there is a problem of herb misidentification. Poisoning from traditional medicine stems from consequence of misidentification and incorrect preparation, administration, and dosages. So when you take a wrong herb, the way you prepare it, everything is wrong from the beginning. So herb misidentification is a problem which must be stopped. Herbal knowledge. The safety of patients in traditional medicine is being compromised nowadays due to insufficient knowledge, skills, and experience of most herb sellers to practice successfully. Inability to diagnose the patient in laboratory, which results in wrong diagnosis and in turn leads to misadministration of medicinal herbs. The love to make money also may lead to purposeful adulteration by adding potentially toxic plants to the preparation. And also, old stock of medicinal plants may also be added in view to getting rid of them without necessarily having a crucial role in the recipe. You just want to get rid of those stocks of their medicinal plants, thereby preparing them alongside herbs for people. So these are the myths that need to be unbundled. We have to make sure our herbal knowledge is sufficient. Let the apprentice get enough herbal knowledge to practice successfully. And if you have a patient, let them go to the laboratory and bring their results so that you can know what to treat. So that you will not be using headache drug to treat rashes. So quality control and standardization of medicinal herbs. Due to reliance on medicinal herbs, there is need in accordance with WHO to ensure quality control of these herbs and standardization. Standardization should be aimed at regulating the number of plants being put together for a particular disease. So many herbal preparations do not have labels, and when they do, some of the items listed may not be there and could be misleading. And the labels may also not list the active ingredients and how you should be taking, the quantity and the frequency. And if you want to standardize our medicinal herbal practices, we have to make sure the labels are correct. The people making herbs and putting them, they do so as to guide their information for other people not to go ahead and make this. But you have to be open if you want to standardize the herbal preparation so as not to allow some people to misuse the herbs. And also the prescription should be clearly stated what to use, when to use, and the frequency of usage of herbs should be put on the bottle, on the paper of the herb So conservation of biological of medicinal plants, which is the second part of this module. Uh, why do we need to conserve our biodiversity? As we know that conservation of biological diversity involves protecting, restoration, and enhancing the variety of life in a particular area so that the distribution of species and communities contribute to sustainable development. The ultimate goal of conservation biology is to maintain the evolutionary potential of species by maintaining natural level of diversity, which is essential for species and populations to respond to long and short-term environmental changes in order to overcome some factors, failure which will result in extinction. So we need to conserve our biodiversity and medicinal plants so as not to lose the biological importance of this plant. If we don't conserve them, the ones that are important will be lost and will go into extinction. So that is the aim of conservation. We already have the knowledge, but how do we conserve the knowledge? How do we conserve the plants that play the critical role in solving problems, in solving disease conditions? So basic studies involved in the conservation of medicinal plants. As I've said earlier, I mentioned ethnobotany, which is the study of how people in traditional societies use plants. This ethnobotany has great potential to provide new and useful plant products for world benefits. Many of the plant extracts used in the Western medicine were discovered through their uses in traditional societies, though not necessarily for the same purpose. Equally important, however, is how ethnobotany can help local communities adapt to changing circumstances. The practice of ethnobotany are themselves being modified to ensure that the rights of traditional people are safeguarded and these people benefit from the discovery made, they benefit from the commercial discovery made from their knowledge. So we have to conserve, ethnobotany can conserve ethnobotany can conserve knowledge of medicinal plants. Also can conserve the plant in a particular environment. So this is one of the studies that can conserve our medicinal plants, the knowledge and the resources. So conservation strategies for medicinal plants, we have in-situ conservation, which is also called on-site conservation, which involves maintaining genetic resources in their natural habitat that is within the ecosystem to which it is adapted, whether as wild or crop cultivar in farmers' field, as components of the traditional agricultural system. The key operational steps for establishing in-situ gene banks for conservation of prioritized medicinal plants include threat assessment, establishment of a network of medicinal plant forest reserves involving local stakeholders, botanical, ecological gardens, ecomedical surveys, assessing intraspecific variations, and designing species recovery, and the establishment of a medicinal plant seed center. So these are the way we can conserve our plants on site. We can conserve our plants without taking them out of their already adapted environment. We can make reserves. You can say this is a medicinal plant reserves. You can say this is a forest reserve. In this reserve, we don't allow felling or collection of the plant resources. We make sure the plants are safe so as not to lose the plant. Also, we have ex-situ conservation, which involves the conservation of biodiversity outside the native or their natural habitat, where the genetic variation is maintained away from its original location. Ex-situ genetic conservation fulfills the requirements of present or future economic, social, and environmental needs. Conservation also includes propagation and assessment of molecular diversity. Conservation of medicinal plants includes a combination of methods, depending on factors such as geographical sites, plant characteristics, infrastructure, and access to different geographical areas, a number of accessions in a given connection. These are the factors that we need to take into consideration the conservation of medicinal plants using Ex-situ approach. Conclusion: the use of herbs in the management of disease is on the increase worldwide and is becoming an integral part of healthcare delivery system. This is due to its efficacy and reduced side effects, which in some cases have been validated by scientific data. The use of medicinal plants has been surrounded by myths in which some are true while others are not and should therefore be used with caution. Owing to the fact that medicinal plants cannot be taken away from the people's way of combating disease, it is imperative to conserve what we have. So recommendations. Government needs to show more interest in herbal medicine by encouraging genuine practitioners. There is also the need to encourage the correct identification of medicinal herbs to avoid mistaken identity and adulteration. There is need to promote safety and efficacy of medicinal herbs through regulatory and quality assurance standards. Herbal remedies should not be used by infants, pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers without proper prescription. Medicinal plants should be conserved and cultivated to make them more readily available to the people. Long-term use of medicinal herbs should be avoided. Herbs should not be taken with orthodox drugs to avoid unwanted herb-drug interactions.